And I very frequently get a question from folks, why this community? How did you get involved in this? Why this niche? And I always reframe that question to, how did I get so fortunate to be able to work in this amazing, inspiring, and incredibly courageous community? It is such an incredible experience for me to have had such an honor. I often see this buzzword out there in the media, and you've all heard it too. You can find it in probably 24 self-help books down at the borders. It is authenticity, or sometimes it's close first cousin, transparency. So we're all supposed to be authentic. We're supposed to be transparent. We're supposed to show who we are, our true colors, who we really are. We're supposed to be very comfortable in our identity and showing our identity truly and authentically. And I agree with that. I counsel my clients every day, transgender or not, find out who you are and be that. But I warn them, when you do that, you're probably going to experience some losses. You may have some people who are going to reject you. You may have some people who are not going to like your true colors. They like the old colors better. They don't like the new colors, the real colors. And what you say to them is, your loss, and I'm fine with that. I would rather, go out and find real relationships. Unfortunately, for transgender people, there's an additional loss that is much more profound, and that is a loss potentially of safety, and a loss potentially even of your life. And so when transgender people choose to be authentic, they are taking a very serious risk potentially. Now, I believe in authenticity, and I preach it every day, but I take it very seriously and discuss that risk with my transgender clients. It's hard to be true as a psychologist and also encourage people to be authentic when I know that I may be encouraging them to take their lives into their own hands. Now, I'm going to tell you a funny story, and it's only funny on the surface because it's really pretty profound underneath the surface. Many years ago, probably 10 years ago, I was having lunch with my friend Terry O'Connell, who is a transsexual woman, formerly a race car driver. And we were just having lunch out at a patio in Charlotte at a restaurant, and there were these two guys at the table next to us, and they were, your typical young banker guy look, right? The button-down shirt, the khakis, the loafers, the whole thing. And I, believe me, I am one to question whether the outside appearance really represents who someone is on the inside. I'll say that. But that's what they were projecting. They were flirting with us, and of course we were 10 years younger. They were flirting with us, and Terry was flirting back. Terry loves to play with people. She's flirting back, and we're having a good time. And this one guy is really out to get Terry's number, and it's just pestering and pestering and pestering. And Terry's like, well, I don't think I'm your type, and well, the people who I am with need to be really open-minded and really progressive. And he's like, no, I'm open-minded, I'm progressive. He pestered and pestered. Finally, she said, look, when I was a child, I was a boy. I wasn't a girl. And everything changed. Now, it was really actually funny at the moment. I mean, Terry and I both just laughed when we saw the looks on their faces. And the conversation continued. They were very polite. They were very curious. They asked lots of questions, and Terry answered all the questions. And we left, and everything was good. And I hope that, we came away from, those two boys came away from that with more enlightenment, with a little better understanding, with maybe questioning what their assumptions are in the future, and all that's good. But then, as the days followed, and Terry and I continued to sort of laugh about it, but I thought, what if? What if one of those guys had been chewed out by his boss that day? What if the weather wasn't as nice? What if one of those guys was a homophobic bigot who thought that what that just meant was that somebody thought that he might be attracted to a man in a dress, even though Terry was wearing some really hot jeans. And so, but I thought, what if they followed us out to the parking lot? Terry had a conversation that day that she had to think about having every day, multiple times a day, every day of her life, which is, do I be real? Do I be authentic? Do I be real and possibly further this cause because I get to educate people, even though it might risk my life? And those conversations happen one time, that one time, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. When those conversations happen, we change the world. But every single time they happen, a risk is taken. And that is really wrong. That's really, really wrong. You know, so I am really glad that all of you are here with me today, and hopefully, you know, the fact that just being yourself, as Stephanie said, just being yourself, just being you, causes you to potentially be threatened. Hopefully that situation will not continue into the future. That'll be a sad part of our past. But, you know, even when one of us is threatened because of who we are, then we're all threatened, and that's wrong. So thank you all so much for being here with me, and I really hope that we all change.